have the green flag, and we have racing here at the Iowa Speedway. 3 abreast, 4 abreast down into turn 1, running the low line, and Palou trying to scamper away already as the field gets underway for race 2.
Watching Josef Newgarden, he wants to make quick work of those top 3 cars. He's already up to 3rd. He's already deposed. There's a big hit. Turn 4.
Underneath our camera position, and that is Devlin DeFrancesco.
Is that McLaughlin as well?
It is McLaughlin. One of the drivers we had expected to be making moves up. He grinds to a halt on the grass, his rear wing damaged, and what a shame for one of the most electrifying races in the field yesterday.
Remember back to the 2nd race of the season at Thermal, it was these 2 drivers on the start at the back of the field that also crashed. Let's see if we can figure out what happens. There is Scott McLaughlin in that light blue Gallagher car, just hanging out high, and unfortunately Devlin just loses it and clips the back of Scott McLaughlin.
Did McLaughlin get into him? Did Dev have to check up a little bit there?
No, I think McLaughlin was high, and Dev just lost it.
Yeah, you're right, T-Bell. Just nowhere he could go. Sort of similar to the spin we saw Nolan Siegel yesterday for Dev, just down low, loses the back of the car, cold tires.
Similar to the spin that we saw from Dev at Gateway, to be completely fair. And McLaughlin, an innocent bystander, and wouldn't have been there if he hadn't have made up so many positions right from the start. A sign of what might have been. And now, Palou punches it, and Rosenqvist tries to go with him, but keep your eye on Will Power just behind David Malukas. As Scott Dixon has a look at Pato O'Ward, and O'Ward himself wants to get past Connor Daly, who fared so well in yesterday's running here in Iowa. 2 wide coming down into 3. The ECR cars on the move once again. Rasmussen and Rossi, who look as racy as they did yesterday. And there is O'Ward now putting the move on Daly. Up on the inside, can he? No, not quite, because Daly's going high on Will Power. I love this from Connor Daly, trying to take the bite right away. And that's just going to open it up for Pato to have a look as well.
There is nobody more comfortable at this racetrack in the high to quite high territory than Connor Daly. Sensational yesterday on the restarts. I thought he looked a little out of line, though, on the restart. I wonder if race control is going to look at that. It looked like he was not in column formation as Pato O'Ward, thanks to Aero, starts to lean back into his setup and try to make some work on Connor.
Kiffin Simpson getting the move on Kyle Kirkwood. Kirkwood, who crashed out of yesterday's race, a problem on his front right. And Daly getting racy once again with Will Power. It's a repeat of the battles that we saw on track yesterday. Absolutely wonderful.
This is Daly in a GHR machine who we're looking back at from the Verizon onboard of Power. He's got a Penske of Power in front of him. He's got the race winner McLaren of O'Ward behind him, and he's stuck there in the middle. He's right up there with the big dogs, and he is aggressive. He's really trying to get that spot from Power.
Pato having a look. And Power has the look at Malukas. Inverse of what we saw at Gateway.
These 2 are fighting for the same job for next year. Power and Malukas side by side in turn 3, but Will Power really making it tough for Malukas, giving him just enough room to the high side.
And Lil Dave is not letting it go, tries to keep his foot stuck in, but Power has the shorter line, and now he has the position. It's a Penske 2-3, Newgarden 3rd, Power is 4th, and Power once again is pushing like crazy and looking phenomenal.
Penske 3-4 at the moment. Still Palou and Rosenqvist up front. But this is interesting because Chevy had the number of the Hondas yesterday, as we see Newgarden now on the inside of Rosenqvist. Can he keep it stuck on the bottom? Keep his foot in it. Rosenqvist trying to keep the momentum up on the high side.
Newgarden, who felt so aggrieved yesterday to have lost out on the victory, which was his all the way through until those final stops. Just that in-lap from Newgarden ultimately costing him what would have been the first win of the season, and Power has a problem. Power's dropping right back.
Not sure if he got up into the gray or he has a powertrain issue. It looks to be no drive for the number 12 car.
Trying to get to the bottom here. Trying to get to the bottom now. Get to the bottom. Get to the bottom.
And he does manage to get to the bottom. Everybody now firing around the outside of Will Power. What desperate luck once again for Team Penske. Yellows are out, caution is out, and that is Stingray Rob into the barriers.
Turn 2.
Yeah, I'm okay.
says it, but you can hear he's trying to catch his breath. These are big hits when you're going this fast around such a short track. Tons of downforce on these cars running here at Iowa.
Man, that happened so fast.
And you can see him grimace under the visor as he lifted it up.
Yeah, the skid marks showing the impact are a really bad angle, quite similar to what Nolan Siegel experienced at the other end of the track. But you can just look at this angle right here. It is that's a hard bounce off the wall, James. Definitely not a glancing blow. Actually, I think it was a little bit earlier, even more dramatic, the angle. So we'll hope that Stingray's all right.
Oh boy,
that did go around fast. Oh. And then straight back. You don't get as much of the crumple. That's a peculiar one, T-Bell. I mean, usually that early in the corner to have it go that dramatically. On board with Rosenquist as he looks at the 77 going off.
I'd like to take a look at the onboard again out the back. I agree with you. It was a very strange and abrupt hit.
And now everybody ducks into pit lane. Palou, Newgarden, Malukas, they're all jumping in. Kevin, down to you.
David Malukas started third. He's running third. He'll get Shell 100% renewable fuel and 4 Firestones. He said the car is good. I like what we had yesterday. Jack.
Josef Newgarden also very good at the start here. He started fourth, running second. Didn't have the cleanest exit. You've seen all these cars funnel into the high lane. Georgia.
Alex Palou came into this race with a 105-point championship point lead. He came in, got Shell fuel, tires, and a turn of front wing.
Palou leaves, still in charge of this race from Newgarden and Malukas. Does now take us to green as the Meyer Shanks pop out, and so too does Scott Dixon, having a look up the inside of both Armstrong and of Rosenquist. Our winner last time out in mid-Ohio. Dixon on the move, so too the ECR of Alexander Rossi.
Newgarden looks to be to the outside of Alex Palou, and there he goes. The move to the front. Newgarden grabs the lead back.
Beautiful from Josef Newgarden. The king of corn country retakes his rightful position at the front of the field. And how much now can he stretch his legs and run away and hide? We saw him lead beautifully yesterday. Seemed to have the entire race under control, and he's back where he loves to be.
And a huge bit of relief for Josef Newgarden and David Malukas. No action on that last pit stop, so that the release is deemed to be safe.
People, look at that. He's extended it to 2.5 seconds as Malukas keeps Palou in check. But Kevin, some worries potentially down there for Malukas?
Well, remember yesterday, we never really got a full fuel entire run as he now goes after Alex Palou, and he's doing this saying, I've got a vibration. I want to pit as soon as possible. He's trying to hang out for another 10 laps or so, but Malukas is still on the charge.
He is indeed, Kevin, and he may have a vibration. He may have troubles out there on track, but he's giving Alex Palou troubles out there on the racetrack as well. A beautiful drive from Malukas right now, and Alex Palou is under pressure.
One of the things from inside the cockpit is when you feel a vibration or you feel the tires go off, you can get on the radio screaming, he's got another run, not quite there.
I thought Palou was going to get into the wall there at the exit at turn 2. He got way high, and I think up into that dirty gray section, and now Malukas is coming.
Now he's got him, now he's got the advantage. He's up on the inside, and that shows how hard Malukas was pushing Palou, that he got up that high, that he made that mistake. And this is a driver who we know doesn't often make those mistakes and will not give the position up. Has to go round high, has to go round long. Malukas, though, will have the inside line, will have the lower line, and this is wonderful. Side by side and wheel to wheel between the wily championship leader, the multiple champion Alex Palou, and the up-and-comer and David Malukas, who ultimately has to yield behind him. But what a wonderful exhibition.
And what's helping Palou so much right now is that car right there of Marcus Ericsson. In the corners, he was on the bottom. That's where Malukas was running, taking air and downforce away from him. But then on the straight, he was up in line with Palou, giving Palou the advantage on the straight. But that running side by side, guys, it's not a fast way around the racetrack. And look how much further ahead Newgarden has pulled himself.
We're back at Iowa. Sorry, excuse the confusion, but Josef Newgarden's just rolled the dice, and it's come up snake eyes. Decided to take the early stop, came in, and just as he did, Marcus Ericsson crashes coming out of turn 4, bringing out the full course caution. There's Newgarden going in. There's Ericsson going high.
Looks
James,
eerily similar
like
to Kirkwood yesterday.
Yeah.
Let's listen. Listen for the floor. Yeah, that's something went wrong there.
You can see a skid mark coming off, so maybe a right rear tire failure, just like his teammate Kirkwood had happened to him yesterday down at the other end of the racetrack.
You could play that audio of Kirkwood's accident yesterday. Almost identical.
Yeah, you can see some feathering right here on the inside shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
Of that right front tire. So it looks like 2 right fronts for the Andretti squad.
But guys, from a strategy perspective now, when we look at the race and how this is going to play out, Newgarden rolled the dice. He's now a lap down.
Yes, so that worked out about as poorly as it could have for Newgarden. What'll happen now is the leaders will come in, they will pit. He will get that lap back, he'll get the wave around, but he'll be at the tail end of the lead lap. And it's now going to be the race on pit lane when pit lane opens. But we still have 143 laps in this race.
Well,
Newgarden can drive his way to the front.
Yeah, I don't think he should be worried about too much. He's been able to absolutely chop up just about anybody at any time.
Palou takes us back to green from Malukas, O'Ward, Rosenquist, Daly and Armstrong. And immediately 2-3 wide, and the ECR's making moves.
4 wide almost further back. Now 3 as we see those Prema cars going high, making moves.
How about Connor Daly sending it once again to the back of Felix Rosenquist with huge momentum. Look for Daly, looks inside now. Great job again on the restart.
Has the toe and has the advantage. Lovely stuff from Connor Daly. He is enjoying this weekend and this race so very much as Colton Herta has a look at the back of Scott Dixon. We ride on board with Felix Rosenquist, just passed by Connor Daly, who sits ahead of us. Ahead of him is O'Ward, ahead of him is Malukas, and Palou then leading the race. And we had that wonderful battle between Palou and Malukas just before the pit stop started to shake out. And there is Colton Herta into the wall and into the back of the ECR of Alexander Rossi.
Great save from both drivers as now Rasmussen trying to get the advantage from that checkup on the 26. Huge vibration left front is the call. I believe that's Colton Herta's radio.
Yeah, that is not good from a team that's had 2 seemingly tire failures already. So that's nervous stuff for Colton Herta. And how about Alexander Rossi? Must have been like, where did that come from? It's like a meteor attack.
There's Herta high. There's Herta too high. And there's Herta into the back of Rossi, who does so well to hang on to it, all arms and elbows.
Too high, or was he squeezed up there? Rossi checking up. I think Rossi got a bunch of understeer coming off of 2, had to crack the throttle, and that caused Colton to have this big closing speed.
And that's where the vibration comes from for Colton Herta. Amazing that he's able to continue and seemingly with pretty good pace. As here comes Josef Newgarden.
Yeah, Rasmussen's got past him in the mix, and we now sit back on board with the man who was leading until the failed gamble. Jack, tell us about Josef.
Well, I managed to catch up with his engineer, Luke Mason, again, and said, that was a pretty surprising move. What happened? And he said, we had to pit for fuel. That wasn't a, wild card that we were trying to play. We didn't even really want to have to do that. That was a necessity stop.
Well, back through the field, and we've got a crash. 4. We've got yellows out, and that's quite a big one. I think it's a Prema.
Callum Ilott.
Out of Ilott again.
That was right in front of Alex Palou, our race leader. He was running in the wheel tracks of the 90.
Real shame for Ilott. That's 2 in a row now for the man from Cambridge in the UK.
And if you look, lap 177, when the pits open here, I think you got to think long and hard about maybe a gamble as some teams start to lay out on pit lane. Let's take a look at what happened to Callum Ilott.
Sends it in and loses the rear. Oh, that's big.
Very much like what we saw from Stingray, similar to Siegel yesterday.
Luckily, though, looks like more of a glancing blow.
I have to laugh because if you've ever felt a glancing blow like that, you would think you were just dropped off the 14th story of a parking garage.
It's a shockingly accurate description of what it feels like to back into one of these walls in an IndyCar. Yeah, that one a much kind of more typical, I think, losing of the rear. Not as fast and sudden as what we saw at a Stingray earlier, but just unable to catch it. And luckily, Palou was far enough back to not get caught up in it.
Townsend, we were just talking about how far a tank of fuel will go in this race. Yesterday, we were looking at 100 laps. Pretty much across the board, could easily be done. Today, to your math, 80 for Josef Newgarden, 82, maybe 85. Do you gamble now and try and make 100 out of it?
Well, it makes me wonder, did they get all the fuel in for Josef Newgarden that led to him having to pit maybe a little bit early? But an answer I see right now is a lot of people, including race leader Alex Palou, their crew laid out on pit lane, so they all think this is the time to come. The longer this yellow lasts here before the pits open, the better chance you have to make it to the end.
And now the field bunch in, and now they jump. Palou, Malukas, O'Ward. We head down to Kevin Lee.
The call for David Malukas was follow the leader. If Palou would have stayed out, I think he would have. But now it is a stop, and it might be for the Chevys a little harder to get home from here. Jack.
So O'Ward has to come around Felix Rosenqvist. Stops perfectly on his marks. His new tyres, tear-offs, another 5 of power awarded. Just a slight drop, Georgia.
No changes for Alex Palou, but his fuel and tires for him. He's going to lead the field off pit lane in front of Malukas.
Josef Newgarden has made up a ton of positions. Connor Daly will be up to 3rd place as well. 1 and 2 in the championship. We go back to green, and Malukas already over the back of Alex Palou, looking up the inside of the race leader, or who was the race leader, but Palou keeps his foot stuck in and takes the offensive now to Kyle Kirkwood. Palou wants to get it done immediately around the outside of his championship rival, but Kirkwood keeps it stuck in and will run him high. Palou, though, will not let it go, as he didn't do with Malukas, as he hasn't done now with Kirkwood. These two rivals going wheel to wheel, corner by corner, and still Kirkwood fights with Alex Palou, and still Carl Kirkwood keeps to the inside, and still Carl Kirkwood keeps the advantage, and now Palou's coming for him around the outside, and will have the pace, and should have the position if Kirkwood yields. But he won't, and Kirkwood remains with him, but now Palou does indeed retake the lead of this race, and Malukas looking to take advantage of Kirkwood losing his pace and having a check-up, and Malukas sweeps through into 2nd.
That's new tires versus old tires, guys. Those that pitted have such an advantage with fresh Firestones. We see Ferrucci and the 26 of Herta side by side.
Back on board with Santino Ferrucci. Has to pull in now behind the car of Colton Herta. Herta will have been glad to get rid of those tyres, as now Daly gets his way past Kyle Kirkwood, who is dropping, as you guys said, on those older tyres.
Here comes Newgarden.
Newgarden going for the move as well.
Up to 5th. Should be, oh, he had to check up big time. Palou O'Ward going to pass Joe New. So that was really unfortunate for Josef Newgarden to have that big checkup with Kirkwood. I thought Newgarden was going to be flying to the front, but it's a struggle right now.
Newgarden had a great restart. He was up 3 positions before he just lost one back to O'Ward, but that was all on that first lap. Really good jump from the green.
We're hearing that Scott Dixon may have some damage, and it's this moment here. Contact, oh yes, between him and his countryman Marcus Armstrong.
Off of 2, Dixon gets the good run. Oh. Yeah, that was just not really leaving enough room from Armstrong. That's going to be
former teammates, Marcus Armstrong and Scott Dixon, and now you see the front wing with a ton of flex. Oh, Palou trying to go to the inside there on Rosenqvist and backs out. This is going to give New a chance to close the gap to under a 2nd, and now he's in the same view.
In the same picture, in the same queue. There is Palou. Behind him is the car of VK. Then it is Malukas who makes the move now. But there is the red and white car of Josef Newgarden, who is very much in the fight. Back once again, despite falling back, despite taking that gamble and it not paying off. That is the undeniable pace today, in fact, of this entire weekend, and his whole history on this track of Josef Newgarden. 6 times a winner here. You can never count him out.
And the disadvantage that Alex Palou has right now is he's the first guy up to all these lap cars. He's got to make that room. Once he gets alongside, he creates an opportunity. Those lap cars usually will have to lift.
Newgarden goes for it, puts the move on Malukas, and that's second place for Josef Newgarden. What an astonishing fight back. Now within a second of the race lead. What a drive, what a day. 39 to go at Iowa, and Josef Newgarden is coming for Alex Palou.
Boy, Newgarden making the high line work really well for clean air in 3 and 4. It is so risky up there with the debris of the tires, but he doesn't care. It is all about the win. That is all he's thinking about today.
38 to go, denied the win yesterday. Newgarden with one car to pass to retake the lead of this race. But that car isn't just any car. It's the championship leader and the man they all want to beat, Alex Palou. But does Palou have the car or the nous or the knowledge of this place quite like Josef Newgarden? Few drivers have more of an affinity with a racetrack than Josef Newgarden does. To here at Iowa, has a look up the inside. How much is he just toying with Alex Palou now? Is it just a matter of when and not if he passes Palou? Newgarden so good at this track as Palou still struggles to fight his way through the traffic. Now Newgarden has the run. Now Newgarden takes the move. Now Newgarden runs for the lead of the race. Wheel to wheel and side by side. Palou goes high and Newgarden leads.
Malukas goes through by Palou as well, up to second place, and Newgarden back to the point. Now it's a Chevy 1-2.
Unbelievable. Newgarden back to what he will always see as his rightful place at the lead of the field. Josef Newgarden leads with 34 to go. Malukas is second. Palou in an instant has gone from the lead down to third, with O'Ward catching. Where Alex Palou leads the race. And why? Because the Chevy runners have come in to stop. First Connor Daly, then David Malukas, then the man who was leading this race, Josef Newgarden, and Newgarden has exited the pits, believe it or not, behind David Malukas. So this the onboard for Newgarden stop, and this is the reason why he fell behind Malukas. There was a bobble and a slow getaway. Slow getaway then for Newgarden. And there's a yellow out, and I think it's Herta up in the wall.
It is, turn 3, and this is a killer for Newgarden.
Disaster for anyone that's just pit.
And that is the car of Herta. And once again, it's a front right. Is that a front right failure again?
Wow.
Oh,
all
boy.
3 Andretti cars.
Let's have a little look at the replay.
There it goes. You can see the car have a dramatic response right away, and you got to think this is setup related at this point with either cambers or something else. The consistency across the race team, all 3 cars having an issue. And for Newgarden and Malukas, terrible timing.
Terrible timing. And guys, when we take a look now at the running order out here on track, it is Palou from Armstrong, from Schwartzman, Dixon, Lundgaard, and Rosenqvist. That is your top 6. So many drivers have come in to stop and find themselves a lap down. But when the leaders are able to pit under caution, they will come out at the lead of the field. Palou will take us back to green as we circulate through 3 and into 4. Armstrong tucked up right underneath his rear wing, and now we go back to green. Dixon having a look at his teammate, and don't forget these 2 made contact earlier, and Lundgaard goes to make the move immediately, gets past Schwartzman and has a look at Dixon, and Rosenqvist wants in on the action as well. Now on the inside of Robert Schwartzman onto the mini backstretch, tucked up underneath the rear wing of Christian Lundgaard. It's Felix Rosenqvist hoping to make it a 1, 2, 3, 4 for Honda.
And Josef Newgarden was able to clear David Malukas.
And here comes Schwartzman back against Lundgaard. Schwartzman up to 4th.
Oh, a little wiggle there from the number 2 of Josef Newgarden. That's going to give Malukas a run off of 2.
And O'Ward wants to take it as well. Malukas does get through. O'Ward taking the advantage, and Newgarden drops back.
Malukas now on the outside of Rosenquist. Rosenquist falling back as Newgarden pulls out, trying to go on the inside of O'Ward, but O'Ward holds the position.
What a run from David Malukas as O'Ward now gets back around the outside of Felix Rosenquist. And Josef Newgarden drops another position back as Rasmussen, as he loves to do on these ovals, on a tear in the final laps.
What has happened to Newgarden? His pace all of a sudden totally falling apart.
Just get it higher.
His team telling him just take it easy and bring it home. So 8 laps to go. It seems like Newgarden no chance, and it's all Palou up front.
Palou and Dixon, they were running 1-2 a week ago in mid-Ohio, and it was a mistake from Palou that gave the win to Dixon. What chance of the same today? As Ferrucci battling there with Jacob Abel. But it's Pato O'Ward who gets past his teammate Lundgaard for 6th. Around half a second the gap between Dixon and Palou. We ride on board with Scott Dixon now.
As you said, Will, it was this exact scenario a week ago at Mid-Ohio, and it was a mistake from the 10 that allowed Dixon to get the lead and the win. He's going to need that again today because Palou has been so solid so far with just 5 to go.
5 to go until the Advanced Auto Parts checkered flag, and Palou leads Dixon by 0.6 of a second. Armstrong has fallen 2 seconds back, but Malukas, incredibly, is up to 4th. O'Ward gets Schwartzman and moves up to 5th.
That was a bummer for Schwartzman there because he was on pace to finish 4th, would be his best IndyCar finish. Ironically, his previous best finish, 10th on the oval in St. Louis for a rookie who had never seen ovals. A great run today as Lundgaard presses.
Lundgaard presses Schwartzman, who will try to keep his foot stuck in around the outside, but he's dropping in these final laps. It's 3 to go now. Newgarden just narrowly still inside the top 10, and that is the gap between Palou and Dixon. It is 0.6 of a second. Next time through it'll be 2 to go. Has Dixon got anything for Alex Palou? He's dragging something back, but it's remaining at about 0.6 of a second.
And now Alex Palou has traffic. Graham Rahal there. Really going to slow up Alex Palou. This could give Dixon a chance on the final lap.
Is this what Scott Dixon needs? We are on the last lap. Palou has struggled with traffic all the way through the day. Dixon senses an opportunity. Dixon looks to take a move, but Palou has it covered. Palou will lead his teammate home. It will be a Ganassi 1-2. Alex Palou will take the victory in Iowa. The man of the moment, once again, victorious.
This is not deja vu. 7 race wins already this season, man. You can do it all. Super Speedway, short ovals. How are you feeling?
Speechless, honestly, speechless. It's been an unbelievable day, unbelievable weekend, but more than anything, an incredible year for us. I cannot really believe it, honestly, and winning here, it's super special. Like, I struggled on short ovals for so long. Today, although the strategy helped us a little bit there at the end when we're P3, we're still trying everything that we could, and that worked for us. So yeah, super happy getting another win, 7 wins in 1 year. It's insane. So yeah, cannot thank enough our partners, our team, and cannot wait to do it again.
And in terms of saving fuel, it seemed like you guys were able to. Some of them yellows came at difficult moments where it maybe was going to split strategy. Just talk about the relationship you have and the trust you have with your team.
Yeah, I mean, they gave me a crazy number. I was like, that either we need to give up our starting position, like our leading position, or we need to go fast and try and do another stop. So it ended up working very good for us. Always trusting 100% the team that I have in the 10 car.
Most wins for our team ever.
Is it?
In a year.
Nice.
Well, that's a nice moment he has with his team boss. Chip Ganassi, fantastic result, 1-2 today.
Up next, it's the Ontario Honda Dealers Indy Toronto, Sunday, July 20th at noon Eastern on Fox.